All right, so skipping over Terminator Salvation, which, first off, I just want to mention, I personally feel is not a true Terminator movie, since I feel that a Terminator movie is one where a machine comes from the future to eliminate someone in the past and prevent something from occurring via butterfly effect. I think that's what the Terminator movies are really built on, not necessarily this futuristic war. And that's why I don't think Terminator Salvation really counts. And also, based on the 2 times I've seen the film, I really hate it, and I don't ever really want to rewatch it.
Mainly because it's done by Machi!
You're useless.
Yes.
So now, first off, need to mention, Steven has left the room due to fear of spoilers. So I'm going to be talking to Jonathan about my thoughts of the 2015 film Terminator Genisys.
Boo.
Terminator Genisys is essentially a reboot of the franchise. It takes the story of the first one, but adds a twist. So what happens is you have the Kyle Reese character and the Terminator who gets sent back in time to go save Sarah Connor. But when they arrive there, you see that another Terminator has already been sent back to the past, a T-800, which is played by old Arnold Schwarzenegger. And Sarah Connor is now fully aware of the future and what it holds. And she is not the scared woman that she is in the original movie, but actually like a fighter, more so that kind of similar to how she was in the second movie. The Sarah Connor in this movie is played by Emilia Clarke, who you might know from Game of Thrones. She plays Khaleesi.
She's a very pretty girl.
The blonde one.
Right. Who everyone relishes about.
Right. I found she didn't have the same kind of intensity as Linda Hamilton. Now, first off, I just want to say I don't really think that she's a very great actress based on her stuff from Game of Thrones. However, I thought she did a very decent job in this movie. But I just felt that she was kind of doing a Linda Hamilton impersonation throughout the whole movie. And Emilia Clarke is a very small girl. So it's tough to really see her as an ass kicker when she's like very petite compared to most people in this movie. Kyle Reese in this movie is played by Jai Courtney. Jai Courtney you might know as the very bland guy from Die Hard 5. Now, he carries over a lot from that performance, bringing his bland character to this film. Now,
it's so funny you should mention Die Hard 5. Why would I know something from Die Hard 5?
But that's like his biggest thing, and now he's doing Suicide Squad.
Oh, great. Another thing I don't know.
Or care about. Yeah. Jai Courtney, he was competent in this movie, but I really feel like he doesn't bring anything to the movie. He is very generic white male action lead character.
There was forgot about the most important thing. How was Arnold's body in this film? Has it aged well? Is it ripe?
So the thing about Arnold in this movie is I found a lot of people told me that, okay, with Arnold Schwarzenegger coming back, the Terminator's movies are back on track, it's going to be exciting. I found he was not the same Arnold of old, and no pun intended because he's old. I find he just lacked a lot of energy that he might have had in his younger years of playing this Terminator. He was just settling back into a role and didn't feel like bringing anything really interesting to it.
Would you say he sleepwalked through this role?
I would, but other people might disagree with me on this. I didn't find Arnold that great. It was nice to see him back in this movie, but he's not the big action star that he used to be, in that he can do a bunch of stunts or he's going to be doing like all these crazy sequences. So I don't know. I found he was interesting in terms of, we're changing the future, so he's coming in. But as an actor and as a character, I didn't really like him in this movie.
Was he naked at all?
No, and thank God, because he's older now, so that would be weird.
Oh, that's a shame.
So I think it's kind of interesting in this movie. It almost feels like a blend of previous films, because you have the relationship of Sarah Connor and the Terminator now, because the Terminator has essentially raised Sarah Connor on his own. So they develop a really close relationship, kind of similar to the one that was made in Terminator 2 with Edward Furlong, John Connor, and the T-800 of that time. Right. The special effects were good. It really felt there weren't any practical effects like in the James Cameron movies. It's definitely different from that. It really felt like a Hollywood blockbuster of this time. So they were good, they were competent, but nothing necessarily to wow you, I don't think. The storyline was interesting. Okay, so basically what happens is, like I said,
it's a reboot.
It's a reboot in that Kyle Reese and the Terminator are both sent in the past to go save Sarah Connor. But now there's this switch because Sarah Connor has been raised by a Terminator, so they've been waiting for the young T-800 to get there and be killed. And so they kill him, and Kyle Reese shows up, and he's like, and the future has changed. So when Kyle Reese shows up, actually, he gets attacked by a T-1000, played by not Robert Patrick. It was some Asian guy.
Okay.
And he also didn't really bring anything much to the part. And in a sequence, eventually they end up killing that T-1000.
Okay.
What follows the movie is Kyle Reese and Sarah Connor decide that they should go to the future when Skynet is to be created and do something to stop it or turn it off or something. Oh, actually, sorry. Skynet is not actually Skynet anymore. It's this thing called Genisys, which is going to like link all of your social medias and link all of your computers, and the folly of man of trying to make everything connected. So that's what Genisys is in the title. It's basically Skynet.
Okay.
And Kyle Reese, as he's going back in time, gets this vision of how to stop it. So he and Sarah go forward to the year 2017 to stop it. Mm-hmm. When they arrive there, they're soon captured and imprisoned, and later freed by John Connor, who came back in time from the same time that he got sent from Kyle Reese, and now he's in 2017. And as soon as Arnold sees him, he shoots at him, and it's revealed that John Connor is actually a Terminator now.
Oh.
So I thought that's actually a really interesting direction to take the John Connor character.
Well, yes, since his mother was raised, you said, by a Terminator.
Right, but no, because now he's a Terminator because right before Kyle Reese got sent back in time, John Connor was attacked by a Terminator played by Matt Smith, who's famous for playing in Doctor Who.
Okay.
And he's basically infected with like these nanomachines that turn him into a Terminator and so on. But anyway, I think it's really interesting him being a Terminator because this whole time he's the leader of the human resistance. He's the reason that, we're going to stop the machines from taking over. But now he's playing the role of the guy who's going to let the machines take over. He's trying to do everything to stop Sarah Connor and stop Kyle Reese from taking over. Mm-hmm. So I think that was an interesting way to change his character and make him different. And it's to say that this future version of him is a Terminator, but now if Sarah Connor were to have a child, he wouldn't be a Terminator. It's just John Connor, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So I think that was a really interesting way to put the character. I want to say that this movie has a lot of problems with the time paradoxes. Now, sure, Terminator 2 and 3, we've been over this, that it doesn't make sense. But there's a lot of logic gaps in this movie. For example, the old Terminator played by Arnold Schwarzenegger, we have no idea who sends him back in time.
Okay.
Throughout the whole film. And I think that they plan on revealing that maybe in a sequel, but I think that's really lazy writing for the current movie that you're in. And there's certain things of, okay, well, if they just, at the end of the film, like, it's the happy ending that we destroy Skynet, we stop everything. So if Skynet ultimately becomes stopped, then why does Arnold Schwarzenegger, the old one who survives at the end, why isn't he sent back or destroyed or just wiped from existence? There's so many, and those are just the two I remember off the top of my head, but there's a lot of little things like that you pull a thread at this movie and the whole movie kind of collapses.
Yeah.
I think that this movie...
Like the Jenga effect.
Yeah, kind of. I think that this movie is a really fun movie if you go in there with some mindless action in mind, and you can enjoy it. I think Jason Clarke plays a very excellent John Connor. He does a great job being menacing. I don't think that the movie treats him as menacing as he should be, in the same way that, Robert Patrick was very menacing. I don't think he lives up that level, but he is a great actor, so he does a great job in the role. I think that you can enjoy this movie, but if you're thinking that this is going to be the Terminator movie that's going to save the franchise and put it back on the right track that was established from the first two, it's not that one.
And I don't think I haven't seen the movie, but I don't think there's going to be any Terminator that could put back up, because it just...
Well, the thing is,
unfair to try to
James Cameron gets the rights back in 2019 or something. The deal that he had worked out, it ends up coming that he gets the rights back. So they're trying to franchise it.
I don't think he's going to do it.
No, but once he gets the rights, maybe the franchise will completely die. Who knows what'll happen? Maybe he'll want...
Working on 3 more Avatars, right?
Yeah.
So I assume those will take several years.
But who knows? Maybe in 10 years, if James Cameron wants to touch the Terminator franchise again, maybe him having the rights will just mean we're done with this franchise.
Okay.
But I think that it's the problem with this franchise is that the first two movies are so precious to people and have been neatly tied up in their own universe. And everything that's come since has just not lived up to those things and just muddied the waters of this universe.
Right. I think so too.
I think that, again, if people want to go watch this movie, I think they'll enjoy it, have a good time. Don't take it too seriously. Don't think about it, and you'll enjoy it.
And that's kind of what I think the studios want.
Yeah, as long as people are going to see it, as long as they're making money, they don't care.
They don't care.
And I'm sure there's people out there who will like this movie. I'm just saying, if you really feel strongly about the first two Terminator movies, the originals, I don't think you'll like this one that much. And those are my thoughts on Terminator Genisys.